always strikes me when I come down to your part of the world is, my goodness, Graham, I just feel the heavy weight of landed power the more I drive into the borders. I feel that heavy weight of landed power. I talk to people and I see the same kind of cautiousness in people about being critical of the laird that we used to have in the Scottish Highlands 30 years ago and haven't seen for the past quarter century. Now, what changed in the Scottish Highlands, Graham, is first of all, we recovered our history. We recovered our history and our culture. So things like the feis or fession movement, the music festivals, the storytelling and so on, was hugely important in reawakening people's consciousness. Books like James Hunter's The Making of the Crofting Community, or music like Runrig, woke people up to it. The only difference between the Highland and the Lowland clearances, and Tom Devine has done work amongst others on the Lowland clearances, and I think he perhaps invented that term, is that it happened in the Lowlands much further back in history. Primarily, I would think because your land is better quality than ours. Ours wasn't worth taking, except for shooting and fishing, whereas yours was good agricultural land. Same up the east coast of Scotland. In my view, the principal reason for the east-west divide, I've dared to come through from Glasgow today into Edinburgh here, but I think the principal reason is that you've got fertile land going up the east of Scotland, and you've got generally infertile land up the west of Scotland. And that has shaped us differently historically, especially in the degree to which we have been colonized by landed power. And when I say colonized, I don't mean so much literally, although it is actually that. It is a theft of the land historically, but I mean especially how our minds have been colonized, what I call colonization of the soul. So what we had to do in Scotland, what we had to do in the Highlands and Islands, and what we did especially in the 1990s, when I was one of the co-founders of the Egg Trust, is we set about delegitimizing landlordism. We set about creating a social atmosphere where it was possible to criticize landlordism, to question its legitimacy, and put the landlord onto the back foot, not as an individual. We were always very clear. The landlord is welcome to be a member of the community as an equal member of community in democratic relationship with others. But we will no longer tolerate having a landlord lording it over us. Now, that was very shocking to some people at first. Attitudes gradually shifted. And Graham, if there's any opportunity for me to speak about such matters down in Hoyk or elsewhere, I'm very happy to come down and stir the pot.